Hello again. Welcome back to week 32 of year 4 of the Religious Education Initiative. This is day 3. We're continuing through the Gospel of John. So last week we saw the chief priests bring Jesus to Pilate, and although the governor tried to avoid dealing with Jesus at all, telling them to manage the matter themselves, they pushed back hard, insisting that Jesus was worthy of death and that they weren't allowed to execute anyone. So Pilate had to handle it. When Pilate examined Jesus specifically about the question of whether Jesus claimed to be a king, Pilate found himself confused, as Jesus did not claim to be a king, but to have come rather into the world to proclaim the truth. Pilate professes doubt about whether there is any truth that can be known, and then he goes out to speak to those who were accusing Jesus once again. We pick up the story there. So after Pilate had said, "What is truth?" After he had said this, he went out to the Jews again and told them, "I find no case against him. But you have a custom that I release someone for you at the Passover. Do you want me to release for you the king of the Jews?" They shouted in reply, "Not this man, but Barabbas." Now Barabbas was a bandit. Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. And the soldiers wove a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they dressed him in a purple robe. They kept coming up to him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" and striking him on the face. Pilate went out again and said to them, "Look, I am bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no case against him." So Jesus came out, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. Pilate said to them, "Behold the man," or "Here is the man." When the chief priests and the police saw him, they shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Pilate said to them, "Take him yourselves and crucify him. I find no case against him." The Jews answered him, "We have a law, and according to that law he ought to die, because he has claimed to be the Son of God." Okay, a few things here. First of all, Pilate, when he says, "I find no case against him," basically he's saying, you say that I need to kill him because he's claimed to be a king. But I asked him if he was a king, and he doesn't say that. He says just that he came to proclaim the truth. So there's no case. But, let's just say that he does claim to be a king. That's the accusation. I'll release him for you. I'll let him go. I don't have to kill him. I'll be nice today. What's interesting is he says that there's a custom here, but there's no other record of it, and it would be very unusual. So now, just because there isn't a record, many people have made bad bets, saying, well, something's not in the Bible, or rather something's in the Bible, but we don't see it proven anywhere else, so it must not be real, and then find that it is, in fact, true, that they find independent corroboration of the scriptural point much later. So it could well be that this is indeed a tradition, but it could also be that Pilate is making this up on the spot, trying to avoid killing Jesus. Why would he not want to kill Jesus? Well, because, as we see in one of the other Gospels, his wife had been having dreams about Jesus and sent him a message saying, "Don't have anything to do with him. Don't kill him." We have to kind of explain this and account for it, because Pilate was known for being ruthless and entirely bloody and utterly careless of the lives of the people under his authority. So why he is hesitating to kill Jesus is a question we need to answer. The Jews are certainly kind of surprised at this. Pilate is the one who, on the mere threat of an insurrection, had rounded up just some 100 random people off the street in Jerusalem and crucified them on the roads, with no sense of justice, no concern for innocence. So they fairly reasonably expected, they could just bring Jesus in and say, "Hey, this guy needs to die. How about you kill him for us?" And Pilate would be like, "Sure, it was one more Jew." So it's strange that Pilate is hesitating, right? So they insist that they don't want Jesus. So Pilate, and then here we see him being bloodthirsty, if he thinks Jesus is innocent, why is he whipping him? Why is he flogging him? Because a Roman flogging is not a small thing. It's not a light matter. People died just of being flogged. And then you add this mockery, the crown of thorns, the purple robe. He's let the soldiers loose on Jesus. They don't care if they kill him. And then he brings him out again to them and says, see, I don't find any case against him, but I've beat him up anyway. He might die just from this. And then they say, crucify him. Now the final point we have to observe is that at this point, when Jesus has found no justice from anyone, he's been rejected by all, he's been beaten within an inch of his life, he's crowned with thorns, he's wearing the robe of mockery, he has the reed in his hand. This scene where Pilate says, behold the man, as you can see on the website if you look, or as you will see in the church, Palm Sunday evening, Holy Monday, and Holy Tuesday, this is the icon of Christ, the bridegroom. This is God come to call his bride and unite himself with us in the depths of our brokenness. This is the Lord who saves us. Not in his strength, not in his pride, not in his power, but in weakness and humility and humiliation. He unites himself with us, and he raises us up out of degradation and brokenness. So, anyway, that's it for now. I will see you all next week. God bless you.